everyone, this is George with FXCashBuilder.com. In this video, we're going to talk to you about the new and improved FX Cash Builder version 2. With version 2, we basically continue to test out multiple indicators and systems to create what we have found to be a pretty nice indicating system now, and we use it each and every single day when we are trading currencies, whether it's swing trading or it's a scalping or binary options. The system does work with a 85 to a 95% efficiency. The reason why nothing is ever going to be 100% is because the currencies are based off of market conditions, which is based off of currency news, and currency news goes on 24/7. Some days there's more news than others, and some days there's more low impact news than high impact news, etc. But the bottom line is that's the reason. Excuse me. That's the reason why no system is ever going to be 100% perfect, but ours is pretty close to it. And if you follow the system the way we have designed it, using multiple indicators from multiple different sources, some from MetaTrader 4 itself, others from other different sources, and put them all together, you'll have more win rates than you will losses, or you should, as long as you're following the system correctly. So let's go ahead and jump right into it so we can get you going with trading Forex or even binary options. Okay, the first indicator that you're going to find, and most of these indicators and templates are going to be in both systems and stuff. They're just tweaked a little bit differently depending on what you're wanting to trade. Okay, so the first indicator is what we call the trend bar dashboard or the trend dashboard, and in this indicator, it basically is just giving you the overall show of what's going on each single time frame from 1 minute to 1 week and stuff. And with this indicator, as you can see here, we break it down into 4 rows. Okay, and me personally, I like to look at it as each one is a quarter. Okay, so that's 25, 50, 75, 100. So this one is half and half, so it's really hard to tell which way you'd be doing it. 30 minutes is in a complete downtrend right now. 1 hour is 95% downtrend. The daily is 95% up. I'm sure you get the point. Okay, so that's the one indicator. Now, some traders will trade only if the trade is going in the direction of the daily and stuff. You can do that by all means because 9 times out of 10 that is going to mean that you have a better chance on that trade than you do if you go against the daily and stuff. However, the way this system is designed, no matter how you're trading it, you really don't need to worry so much over the daily. Um, as long as the 31 hour and even the 4 hour are in the same uh, atmosphere that you want to go into, which right now they are, then again you'd be good to go because all of these are in the same declinization or the same decline as you're going. Um, and versus if you're doing a buy trade and everything, and you were wanting to place a buy signal on a trade, forex or binary options, and all these were mainly green instead of red, then you have a better chance of closing out successfully in that trade. Okay, so the other indicator that we have for you guys is what's called an oscillator. Okay, now since this video is going to be in multiple different places, we're not giving up the name of it, because obviously that would defeat the purposes of what we're doing here. But with the oscillator here, um, the we have it in combination with the normal stochastic that comes with MetaTrader 4, and we do this so we can get these lines right here. Okay, now what you're seeing here is in the middle is a zero line. Okay, that's the neutral line. So these bars right here are below the zero line. That means you're currently in a downtrend. Okay, now the higher or whatever the bar is, the thicker they are, the thicker the trend is. Okay, so as you can see here, these bars were above, so therefore you were in an uptrend. As you can see here, you were in an uptrend, and you know at some point you were in a higher uptrend than other points, but you were still in an uptrend. And that's all we really use this oscillator for. The greenish looking line right here, that's the currency line as we call it, and that just gives you an overall idea of what the currency is doing. Is it staying high with the uptrend, or is it coming back down and getting ready to go into a downtrend? As you can see here, it is kneeling down, it's almost crossing over the zero, so you already know it's going in a downtrend. But you would have known it was in a downtrend already because of the bars. Okay, so that's that oscillator or that indicator. The other indicator that comes with the both systems is another one that we just simply call the trend bar. Okay, now the reason why over here on the left hand side you don't see it anymore is because most people have their screens zoomed in a lot so they can get a real clear understanding of what's going on, and that's the only reason why it doesn't go so far. But for the purposes of what I'm going to be talking about in a minute, I'm having it zoomed out a little bit. Okay, but now as you can see, this trend bar is clearly going in a downtrend, and then it'll go back up in an upward trend. So if you get in this trade right now and you go downward and stuff, you're going to be good for quite a while. Okay, several hours, several days. You know, you're going to be good. Okay, I do apologize if you just heard my 1-year-old daughter in the background. She's in the room with me, so if you hear any loud noises like that, like you just heard, that's what's causing them. Okay. Um, Now, the other indicators that we use is two EMAs right here. You can change the colors to these however you like. And what we do is when these EMAs cross, and in this case, the yellow is below the blue, that indicates to us a downward trend, okay? Versus if the blue or the yellow is above the blue, that means it's an upward trend, okay? That's one indicator to go off of, in addition to the trend bar down here and the oscillator, etc. Okay, so again, this system is coming together for several different indicators that are always going to be telling you, yes, it's an uptrend. No, it's not. It's a downtrend instead. And then that way it helps you to make a better choice judgment of which way you need to place that trade, whether up or down. Okay. Now, in addition to these EMAs, let me give a quick understanding of how they work. Okay. Several days ago, earlier in this week, today is Friday, October 7th, and earlier in this week, let's see where it have it, on October 3rd, which was about a week ago, this was this started out the major uptrend. Okay, so if you were fortunate enough and was paying attention, I unfortunately was not one of those people, but if you were fortunate enough and was following this currency on 4 days ago, on the 3rd of October, you would have basically entered into right here. Now you could have entered back in here when it first crossed over, and then if you got scared thinking it was going to come down and cross over, you would have entered here, and then when you would have gotten out, you would have still made 272 pips in profit. It would have taken you a good, let's see here. That was the ninth, and then the 30th of September, and then the you would have gotten out on the 3rd of October. So you would have been in it for a few days, but you would have still made 256 pips, okay, in profit. Now, if you would have gotten out there, this other indicator that comes with the system, it's called a half trend indicator. The half trend indicators, a lot of people will trade off of them, and other people will not. Well, we use the half trend indicator for in the trend or the swing trading system with FXCashBuilder. Uh, we use it to know if it's good to get into the trade or if we should stay out of it. Okay, so for instance, if this yellow line was away from the blue line, but yet there was a red half trend instead of a blue half trend, we would stay out of the trend, or we would stay out of the trade rather, until it turned to blue, and then we would enter the trade. And the half trend does actually give you a push notification onto your screen and alert you to the currency pair that you're looking at. It will tell you whether it's half trend, up or downtrend, and then you can go to go to that currency pair and take a look for yourself to know, okay, let me get into it, let me stay out of it, things like that. Okay, so right here you would have gotten out of it thinking, okay, well here's a red one, just loaded me to a red one, and boy, it's getting awful close to that blue again. Let me go ahead and get out of it. Like I said, you would have closed out still in 256 in profit, pips in profit, and then once you got the blue indicator, then that's a good sign to go ahead and go. Okay, so you would enter back again, back into it again, and you would have stayed into it all the way until today when it crossed back over, and you would have closed out that trade for a little over 2200 pips. Okay, now you would have entered it on, let's see here, the 3rd of October, and you would have gotten out of it today earlier in the morning time on October 7th. So for 4 days you would have profited over 2000 pips, over 2200 pips you would have profited and everything. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, clear cut, that's how it is right there. I mean, this is a great system. Okay? Now, to discuss these half turns even more, what we do is, let's say you want to get into the trade. Okay? Another indicator that comes with the FS Cash Builder version 2 system is a TSR line. Okay, that's what we call it, but I also call it another trend line, basically. It's actually for the currency itself. Okay, so basically what would happen is, once you got this blue indicator to place a buy signal or to place a buy trade, as long as the TSR is also green and not red, go ahead and place it. Now you're saying, okay, well, it did that, but then after I did it, the TSR changed from red. That's okay. As long as the half trend is still blue and not red, then you're good to go and you stay in it. Now, another indicator that it's also good to stay in it is because the yellow line is still away from the blue line. So as long as this didn't bend back down to the blue line like you thought originally it might do, then you're good to go. You just keep riding it out and you just keep making profits. Okay, now another thing to do too, let's say you're getting into this and you're writing it up, you know give me one second, you're writing it up to say right here, and then boom, you get a down signal. What you can simply do is um, wait to see where the currency is going to go, because even if it came all the way down here, ladies and gentlemen, like this, and you just got really scared of it, you could still close it out and you would still be, several hundred pips in profit. I mean, it's that easy. Okay, you're going to lose some money, granted, but you're not, going to lose everything, because even if you close it out right here, you still be 200 pips in profit right there. Okay, so you'll still be good to go. Okay, now one reason why I say don't panic if you see the red half trend coming, because there's another TSR line right here. Okay, this TSR line, it formed green right here. Okay, now this is another reason why I would have gotten into the, well, I would have gotten into the trade too here, because it was green. But then when it came red, granted, when you got this notice and you look back to see what was going on, and this TSR was red, yeah, that would also be an indication to get out of the trade, because it definitely might, crisscross again, and then, you start losing money. Okay, so basically, again, when you get up here, okay, and this TSR line is red, and the half trend is red, and you're like, oh man, it's getting ready to go back down. As long as the second TSR line is still green, that means you're still in an uptrend. The yellow line is pretty far away from the blue line. You're still in an uptrend, and you just keep it. Okay, it's going to come down, but then as you saw, it came down, it shot up a little bit, came back down, and then boom, the red half downtrend ended, the blue half trend kicked back in, and boom, you kept on riding. Okay, now if you do get scared, and even though this is still green, and you just don't want to take no chances, because things could happen, some news could come out and it could just skyrocket it down, by all means feel free to get out of it. And then when you get this half trend up again, feel free to climb back into it and go, back into some more, and then you'll just keep on riding it up and riding it up and riding it up until the yellow does cross actually back over the blue line and you close back out of it. Okay, so that right there would have been a nice trade. Another one that you could have definitely entered for is the TSR here was red. The half trend is red going downward. The yellow line crossed the blue. You could have gotten into a down trade right here. You probably would have gotten into it probably right about in here. And you would have stayed into it until the yellow crossed the blue again. And you would have still made 801 pips in profit. Okay, now if you kept an eye on it, and all of a sudden this changed green and it kept on going, you could close out of it anytime you want here. If you see this yellow line is going back up towards the blue, you close it out, and look, you're still making over 1,000 pips in profit. Okay, you would have been in this trade roughly, a day. Okay, you have been in this trade a little over a day. You have made over 1,000 pips in profit. You have been good to go. Okay, there's no rule book basically saying that you have to stay in the trade until the yellow crisscrosses the blue again. There's nothing saying that once you get in the trade and you're in profit, whether it's 100 pips, 200 pips, 1,000 pips, 500 pips, whatever the pip is, you can feel free to get out of the trade at any given time that you want to. Nobody, there again, there's no rule saying you have to stay in it. Okay, so again, for here, it's a downward trend. Everything is pointing downward right here. You would have gotten into it probably about right here, but look, TSR closed, and you see, the blue trend coming up, and you're getting a little nervous because the yellow is kind of close to the blue. You could have closed it out. Um, if you want to, as soon as you got the notice for this and you saw how everything was going, you could have closed it out right here, and you would have still made over 300 pips in profit. Okay, so even on short ones like this, you're still going to be able to make several hundred pips, maybe even 1,000 pips or more in profit, depending on how everything goes. Same thing here. The yellow, it didn't really crisscross, but it touched and came back down. So you would have entered here, and when you got the signal here and you saw that it was going back up, you could have exited out, and boom, you would have made 400 pips in profit. Okay, so that's pretty much the I would do more, but I don't want to make the video extremely long for you guys. So that's pretty much the trend trading that we have going on. These lines are a blessing. I was doing some research the other day. I was using another set of numbers for the EMAs, and they work great too. Don't get me wrong, they worked awesome. But I was doing some research yesterday on trying to find another indicator that I had seen someone post about online, and I liked it, and I came across a news article, and the guy was talking about these numbers, and I changed them around just to see what they look like, and I just fell in love with this even more because again the trend is super long. In some cases, I mean, some cases you're going to have short trends like this, other cases you're going to have really tall trends, and again. Let's say, for instance, you got into this trade right here, green TSR, high yellow, uh, half blue, trend line. You got into here, and let's say you got scared with it coming all the with the currency coming all the way down like this and all that, and you decided to exit early. You're still making several hundred pips on profit, even if you're waiting for this to cross over the blue, which you can, I guess. You're still making, and once you realize it did that, you could close it out, and you're still making a few hundred pips in profit. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions about this, by all means, feel free to post in our group. The link to our group is on this page for the downloads um, and everything. I only have the group open to members of the FX Cash Builder system. And of course, I can't really make anyone, join it, of course. So, you know, if there's a lot of people in there, there's a lot of people in there. But either way, if you have any questions, take screenshots, do a video of it or whatever, post it into the group. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it and let you know my analysis and what I think you should do about it, and explain it. That way it doesn't confuse you. I won't just simply say yes, take that trade. No, don't take it. I'll actually let you know. I'll try to pull up the chart myself if I have it available from my broker. I'll pull it up myself, or what I'll do is I'll save your picture and edit it and make edits to it in my editor program that I have, and will explain to you in that why you should take the trade or no, you shouldn't take the trade, things like that. Okay, so if you ladies and gentlemen have any questions on that, just feel free to get it to me, and I'll help you out the best I can. Okay, as far as the trend trading slash swing trading goes. Okay, now the next setup that we have for you, ladies and gentlemen, is the binary options or the scalping, and I'm switching my template over to that right now. Okay, now with binary options or scalping, we basically left all the indicators in here, except we took out the EMA lines, and we also took out uh, just the EMA lines, I believe. And then what we did is we added the harmonic pattern indicators, and this thing has a really long name, but we call it the sun indicator, because you're basically wanting to trade off solely from the sun indicators, okay, in the system. We lit the trend bar, this one in here, that way you could see, um, if it's going in a downtrend or an uptrend. So basically, for instance, you would have gotten a signal for this harmonic pattern here for a bullish, which means place a buy a trade. But since this trend bar is going in a downtrend, I would not trade this. The one key element to forex or even binary options, if you're looking at a chart like this, don't ever trade against a trend, because 9 times out of 10 is just not really going to go in your favor. You're going to lose money, or you're going to lose the trade, or you could wipe out your entire account depending on your lot investment. So again, if it was me personally, I would only trade the harmonic patterns and the sun indicators in the direction of whatever the trend is. Okay, so like for instance, you would have gotten this, but like the oscillator, for instance, is in a downtrend. It's below the zero. The trend bar is below zero, or in a downward position. The You would have gotten this, but the I apologize. The half trend indicator is in a downward position. Okay. Now, actually, when this formed, the half trend was probably in the up position like this. However, because harmonic patterns do sometimes repaint, that's one thing you gotta be careful about. So if this might have been formed right here, but then what happened was once it reformed, um, it's probably this candle here, and it came all the way down, maybe for a news event or something, and then shot back up. So this candle formed, and granted, it did go up, but the only problem is even if the candle was going up, since the harmonic pattern here is with the downward position, just wouldn't trade it. Okay, again, don't ever trade against the trend. That, as long as you remember that key aspect, don't ever trade against the trend, then you'll be golden. Or at least, again, 85 to 95% of the time you'll be golden. Okay, and so on any account, you would pass up this opportunity. Okay, now the next indicator you would get would be another harmonic indicator, letting you know for a bearish signal. That means you place a sell trade or a put trade, or I'm sorry, a sell trade. Okay, now when you got this pattern, you would have gotten the sundial with it. You would have waited for the TSR line to change from green to red. When the half You can also, if you want to, wait for the half trend to change to red too, to give you even more confirmation. But as long as the TSR line is changed to red, you wait for the second candle to form to make sure it's not going to try to do anything. Then once the second candle happens and everything is still red, then go ahead and place your binary option trade. No more than 20 to 30 minutes. So like 5, 10, 15, 20 in the money. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 in the money. Okay. So you would have been in the money on that one. Okay. If you did want to wait for the half trend, which some people will do, then normally we'll start showing up on the second candle formation. That's in the same downward position as the previous candle of it. And if you want to wait until that point and then place a trade, again, you'll still be golden. Okay. Now, if I can show you here, okay, here's another good example. Okay, the harmonic patterns will not always form when a trade opportunity comes. They operate off of different other algorithms than these sun indicators. So you don't always have to go by harmonic patterns unless you just want to. So again, you would have gotten a notification on the computer here that a sun indicator has formed. Once the sun indicator forms and your TSR line is green, and even this is blue, again, you can go off of both of these, or you can just go off of one of them. Totally up to you. But once one or two of these have formed, or both of them have formed, and you feel pretty confident, go ahead and place your trade. So let's say, for instance, this would have been green here, this would have started forming. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Boom, I'm in the trade. Okay. Even if I did a 15 minute, I would have gotten in here. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Boom, in the trade because I'm higher than that candle. Okay. So again, it's really all about preference. Some people will do the shortest expiration they can, which would to me personally would be no less than 15 minutes. Other people will take 30 minutes. Some people will take 20. It just depends on what the current time is allotted from your broker. Again, you would have gotten a sundial here, red TSR, red half trend, 5, 10, 15 in the money. Even if you did 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 in the money. Okay? Now, the only thing that no one really ever likes about binary options really is once you place a trade, there is no getting out of it until the expiration. Okay, in Forex, if I'm placing, let's say for instance, I get an indicator right here and I place an up buy, a buy trade, then basically what would happen is I would get all the way up here. I would just let it keep running because my half trend is blue. And then once I get the red trend, I could just let it, come down here to my open trade, find the one that is for that particular trade, hit the X and close it right out, and then I'd be done with it. Or I could come on the line, right click on it and close my trade and be done with it and be in the profit. Okay. The only problem with that though is with binary options, again, you cannot do that. So again, if you were to say basically, let's just say for instance you get this red dot, okay, that means the currency is going to reverse and boom, it hit red. Okay, most likely you probably wouldn't go off the half trend, so you would place a trade and you would lose it because it would go 5, 10, then 15, 20. Again, you're going to lose it because it's coming back up. Now if you want to, another way you can do binary options, for instance, um, I kind of wouldn't exactly do it this way unless you feel really confident in it, is you could just simply trade off of the half a trend. Okay, so again, if the half trend forms, then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you would have just barely made it, but you would have gotten it. In this one, you would have gotten the indicator for it right here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, boom, you have been in the money. But like this one, for instance, see, like I say, you can't always go off the half trend because here you would have gotten the signal, you would have placed the thing, and then as soon as you place it, it would have reversed itself and you would have lost. Okay. Again, same thing right here. Right here, it would have formed about here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Again, even though this is a half trend and it's in blue, the currency reverses itself. Okay. So that is basically, I was letting you know that so that way it just proves what I'm telling you, to only trade off of the sun indicators and even the harmonics. Okay, as long as the harmonic patterns is forming in the direction of the trend bar, this thing here, the trend bar, as long as it's forming in that direction like it did here, and this is red and that's red, boom, place your binary options trade, place your scalp trade. Scalp trading is in Forex, so you place your trade here and you just keep letting it ride. And then when you get another indicator, it didn't have to be a sun indicator. If you place a sell trade from this sun indicator and all these other indicators added up, and you place the sell trade and you just let it keep on riding, what you would do is when another dot would form right here, where there's a sun dot or one of these little red or green dots or yellow dots right here, when one of these would form after you place the trade, you would immediately cancel out and everything, or not cancel out, I'm sorry, you would close out the trade for profit, because these dots do mean that the currency is going to reverse itself. Because as you can see here, boom, half trend up, it came up, the dot hit, boom, the currency came down a little bit, and then it did go back up, and then it's coming back down again, and then the half trend down indicated, but then the dot happened and the trend shot back up. Okay, so again, that's the reason why those balls are there. There are indicators that the currency is about ready to reverse itself. So you get the sun indicator, you go ahead and place your sell trade when all these other indicators add up. The red TSR, the red half trend, the trend bar. This is, you know, on the downtrend and stuff. You place your sell, but then once any color ball forms, even if it formed right here, you would go ahead and get out of the trade because you know it's going to shoot back up. Now, since this trend bar is here, you could play the risk game if you wanted to, and go ahead and leave it because it would shoot back up, but then another ball would happen, and then the currency would come back down. But don't get ahead of yourself on that because the purpose of this template is strictly for binary options, okay, and scalp trading, okay. So that is the rules you want to follow when doing this. You simply want to go off of harmonic patterns and sundials or sun indicators, or just strictly the sun indicators. Once one or two of those are formed, along with a red TSR or a green TSR, depending on the way the trade is, and the color trend line is also formed, then you go ahead and place your trade, whether it's binary options or scalp. Okay. Now again, for instance, if this blue harmonic pattern is formed over here, anywhere over here, you could place the trade, because starting from roughly about right here, well, hold on a minute, starting from about right here, it's going from a downtrend, and then it's going to reverse and start going in an upward trend. Okay, and as you can see here, it's basically doing that, even though the currency is here, but it's just telling you, I mean, this is telling you that, okay, all this was a downtrend, but it's not saying that's how the currency is. Going down and staying down, they're going to be shooting up. Okay, it's just letting you know the actual trend of it is going. And as you can see, it came down, come up, come down, and now it's going to be shooting back up. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helps you all with a trend trading and swing trading. Hopes it also helps you with binary options and scalp trading. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to join our Facebook group. Um, and everything, the link is right here on the download page for you guys. We do thank you for purchasing. Even if you don't want to join the Facebook group, if you have any questions, feel free to link up with me on Facebook itself, and or send us an email, and I'll get to you as soon as possible. Thank you, and have a great day.